to our music channel. In the first video on our YouTube channel, we will discuss the charts and history of the Billboard Top 10 Hot Singles in 1970. Upheaval beginning in 1970. A new wave of varied genres, ranging from deep soul to classic rock, depression, and served as silent observers of the social and cultural shifts of the era. Let's embrace our nostalgia and
swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die. Hey, swing those hips around.
Aretha Franklin with Call Me is ranked 10th. The song Call Me was composed and recorded by Aretha Franklin. Arif Mardin, Tom Dowd, and Jerry Wexler all contributed to the song's production. Franklin spotted a young couple on Park Avenue in New York deeply conversing, and that's when she got the concept for the song. Franklin overheard them say to one another, "I love you, call me," before they parted. The Muscle Shoals rhythm section provided the song, Call Me, with its musical background, with the exception of Franklin on piano. Was released as a single in January 1970 from Aretha's This Girl's in Love With You album and became another hit for her, spending 2 weeks at number 1 on the US R&B singles chart, while reaching number 13 on the pop chart. Glenn Campbell follows with his song, It's Only Make Believe. Conway Twitty, a vocalist from Mississippi and drummer Jack Nance wrote the song It's Only Make Believe while the group was on tour in Ontario, Canada in 1958. Conway Twitty added the final touches to the song, which was mostly written by Jack Nance, a band member of Twitty's, during a break in their performance at the Flamingo Lounge in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. The song, It's Only Make Believe, gained widespread popularity and peaked at number 1 on the Billboard chart in September 1958. It was also released on November 10th and 24th. The song became the only number 1 pop single of his career after topping the UK and US singles charts. Years later, Twitty claimed in an episode of Pop Goes the Country that the song had sold over 8 million copies and was a hit in 22 different nations. It was not until he crossed over in 1966 that he became a country music star. Number 8 is B.B. King with Thrill Is Gone. West Coast blues musicians Roy Hawkins and Rick Darnell wrote the sluggish minor-key blues ballad The Thrill Is Gone in 1951. In 1951, Hawkins' rendition of the song peaked at number 6 on the Billboard R&B chart. B.B. King's song The Thrill Is Gone became a big hit in 1970. His version contributed to the song becoming a blues standard. The Thrill Is Gone became a hit song for King and one of his most popular singles when it was released as a single by Bluesway Records in December 1969. It peaked at number 15 on the main Billboard Hot 100 list and number 3 on the Billboard Best-Selling Soul Singles chart. Due to his recording, B.B. King was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1998 and won a Grammy Award for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance in 1970. Rolling Stone magazine ranked King's rendition of the song at number 183 on their list of the 500 greatest songs ever recorded.
Thrill is gone. Thrill is gone away from me. Thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away from me.
Let Me Walk a Mile in Your Shoes is the following song. Composed Composed by Joe South, Walk a Mile in My Shoes became popular in 1970. Along with producing and arranging the song, South was also responsible for the B-side, Shelter. Joe South and the Believers was the credit on the single. Tommy South, his brother, and Barbara South, his sister-in-law, were among the Believers. The song peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 and at number 12 on the Cashbox chart. It also peaked at 56 in the country and 3 in the adult contemporary category on Billboard, and it peaked at 10 in the Canadian RPM chart. It was the second and only song by South to be included in the Billboard chart's top 20. In Australia, it likewise made it to the top 20.
Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Head for you, criticize and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
The new Seeker with What Have They Done to My Song Ma comes in at number 6. What Have They Done to My Song Ma is a song written and performed by Melanie Safka. It was included on the album Candles in the Rain and released in 1970 as the B-side of Melanie's Ruby Tuesday single. The song peaked in the top 20 in Norway and the Belgian Wallonia area, while it peaked at number 39 in the United Kingdom. It was used as the theme song for commercials for Lifebuoy soap in the 1970s. Look What They've Done to My Lifebuoy, Ramada in the 1980s, Look What They've Done to Ramada, and Oatmeal Crisp cereal in the 1980s, Look What They've Done to My Oatmeal. As part of her Backyard Sessions series, Miley Cyrus released a music video for the song in October 2012. She sang the song in duet with Melanie in 2015, along with Peace Will Come, According to Plan. Jack Wild recorded a different version of the song, which was included on his 1971 album Everything's Coming Up Roses.
Look what they've done to my song, Ma. Look what they've done to my song. Well, it's the only thing that I could do half right, and it's turning out all wrong, Ma.
In position 5 is I'll Never Love This Way Again from Dionne Warwick. Composer Burt Bacharach and lyricist Hal David wrote the well-known song I'll Never Fall in Love Again for the 1968 musical Promises, Promises. In 1969, the song was released in several versions. The most well-known were performed by Dionne Warwick, released in December 1969, who peaked at number 6 on Billboard magazine's Hot 100 and spent 3 weeks at the top of the magazine's list of the most popular easy listening songs. And Bobby Gentry, released in July 1969, who topped the UK chart with her version, as well as at number 1 in Australia and Ireland, number 3 in South Africa, and number 5 in Norway. We're missing a song in the middle of the second act, and what we need is something the audience can whistle on their way out of the theater. Producer David Merrick realized while Bacharach and David were in Boston for previews of Promises, Promises, the new musical, for which Merrick had asked if they would write the score. In the Song of the Year category, Joe South's Games People Play defeated Bacharach and David's I'll Never Fall in Love Again at the 12th Annual Grammy Awards on March 11, 1970. However, Warwick was not nominated until the following year, when she won in the category of Best Contemporary Vocal Performance Female, as the eligibility period expired on November 1, 1969.
Stand here and remember just how good it's been. And I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love this way again. So I keep holding on.
Woodstock by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young is at position 4. Canadian-American singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell wrote the song, Woodstock. In 1970, at least 4 noteworthy renditions of the song were made available for purchase. Mitchell's version was originally heard live in 1969. It was then included as the B-side to her song Big Yellow Taxi, and featured on her album Ladies of the Canyon in April 1970. The version by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, which debuted on their album Deja Vu in March 1970 and became a mainstay of classic rock radio, was released before this one in the United States. The song Woodstock by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young peaked at number 3 in Canada and number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May 1970. A separate version of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's Woodstock recording was played during the documentary film Woodstock's closing credits, which were released in March 1970. As stated by Cashbox, C.S. N&Y Steam along with a splendid song by Joni Mitchell, and the foursome offer some much more solid undercurrents in the instrumental end.
Set my soul free. We are the stars, we are brothers, we are double party, and we got to get ourselves back to the door.
Tom Jones, Without Love There Is Nothing comes in at number 2. Danny Small wrote the song Without Love There Is Nothing. Psychedelic Shack from The Temptations is located at the summit.
Come in and take a look at your mind. You'll be surprised what you might find.
Yeah, strolls like fashion from sun up to sundown. People gather there from all parts of town. Right around the corner,
Oh yeah,
just cross track.
people I'm talking about. The psychedelic shack. So get that shack. That's just
Here is the 1970 Billboard Hot 10 Singles chart. You can create your own. See you on the next chart. Thank you.